And we are live. Good morning, everybody. It's Andrew once again with another live stream. And I took last week off, but I'm back again, ready for another great live stream here. Sunday, June 6, 2021, 9:02 a.m. Pacific time. How are you doing? All right. Good to see we already got a super chat from our good friend Duck Vision. Thank you, Doc. Good morning. Hope you have been doing well. Let's say hello to a few people as everybody gets filed in here. I don't know about the Acer Swift X. I would like to get a review unit, but looking to get that. Pavel, good to see you, my friend. Steve is in the house. This is going to be good. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, William. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. I reached out to HP. I'll let you know once they say when this is actually. I don't know what the deal is because they said there are some SKUs that are available at my press briefing that I had with them. So I'll look into that. And we're talking about the what you can see here. Get rid of the music. We're talking about the HP Elite Dragonfly MAX. You can see it here. Not shipping till October 24th. I'm not really sure what's going on because they said there were SKUs that were available, so we'll have to see. We got a Kufu from Ghana, watching me from Ghana. Good to see you, my friend. Thumbs up. Yes. Mwang. Thumbs up, people, as we want to get this spread out over YouTube. We have, I think, 37 of you already watching, and you can also do super chats as Duck Vision did. That'll certainly help support the channel. There's also memberships, and of course, watching, giving that thumbs up, and of course, liking and subscribing to the channel, which helps the channel grow. So there you go. Now, this past week, as you know, I released and you can see it from top down here, the HP Elite Dragonfly MAX. Now, this is in the sparkling black, which is a little bit different than the one from a couple of iterations ago, which of course had the sparkling blue, and I could put that color combination on here. And this is the sparkling blue. This is the Dragonfly blue, I should say. Sparkling black, Dragonfly blue. This is the original. This is the one that has the 8th gen processor. You can see a lot of improvements, I gotta say, when it comes to this. And I got to say, also still very expensive, as these are coming in very, very expensive. The Max starting at about $2,300. So a lot of criticism on that as far as the price. But you have to keep in mind, people, that this is geared towards business executives or businesses that buy these in bulk. They tend to buy these to put out in their fleet, and they will, and we'll worry about this later, they tend to buy these in bulk, and they get discounts because of that. And so you have to keep that in mind. Now, having said that, this is probably one of the most gorgeous laptops you can get as far as business-focused laptops. I absolutely love them. One thing you will note, of course, these are 16:9 aspect ratios. And good to see you, truly, the besto. And I thank you, Vakesh. 16:9 does not seem to be the trend here in 2021. That would be 16:10. We've talked about it ad nauseum. But I got to say, despite the fact that that would be one of my very few flaws I have this, the price being one of them. The other one would be, of course, I would prefer 16:10. But having said that, I got to say they made big improvements with the SureView Reflect display, which I'm not the biggest fan of. If you've ever watched my channel, you probably know that. I like when you have a more traditional display, but privacy display, of course, offers a few different things. We can put this one down for the moment. Privacy display, if I hit the button, it will activate. You can see it got dimmer. And then if I move it to the sides, you definitely cannot see it. It fades away, reflects away. And then, of course, if you look at dead on, you see it perfectly. So viewing angles might not be the best when you compare it to a traditional display, but I gotta say this is a big improvement over previous iterations. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about with this is the 5G on this. This has a Snapdragon modem in this, and I gotta say, working really great. Now, they did send me an AT&T SIM card working on 5G. It's actually working pretty decently. I'm getting decent speeds on it, although here in Las Vegas, it's a hit or miss, but it has been pretty decent so far. I've taken it to coffee shops. I've taken it in public already and liking it. Now, again, there you can see the SureView. If I turn it off, it gets brighter. So it's just a matter of personal preference. Now, here's the thing, though. This only comes in a SureView Reflect display. You can't get this with a 4K display or just a traditional full HD display. So a little bit of a, I kind of wish they would offer it more and more options with when it comes to that, but you could always go with the Dragonfly G2, which also has the 11th gen processors with a traditional display option as well, I believe as a UHD display, if I'm not mistaken. All right, you like the channel, Brand Good. Band, Buddha, I'm not going to attempt the rest of that. Great review. You liked it, Vikesh. Jeff, finally a laptop with a decent webcam. Yeah, let's talk about that. I think that's a main feature that people are going to love. Let's activate the webcam. Now, as I mentioned in my video, and of course, you could always check it out on my channel. Let's go to camera. Now, there is a privacy shutter here. So if I click that, you'll notice that it turns like a silver color and it closes the camera. And then, of course, if I activate the camera as I do here, you can see me. Now, of course, the viewing angles are not going to be great with the lighting in here. Let me see if I can adjust that to try to get you a decent angle here. And I guess we can use this. 1440p video. Okay, 1440p video. 1080p, of course, you could also do that. Let's go to the settings. Right now, it's on 1440p, 30 frames per second. Very interesting camera. It does change according to your lighting. It does adjust according to the lighting, and that's been working pretty well. Yes, I definitely agree, Jeff. Finally, a decent web camera on these laptops. I was getting really tired of those 720p webcams quite a bit, actually. You can see the lighting sort of changes there as I moved it. Let's see if I can... Yeah, so I'm trying to get the right angle there. What I like about it, it's also an infrared camera. That means you can log in with face recognition with Windows Hello. Okay, so let me know what you guys think about it in the chat. And good to see Mallory in the house. I'm here listening and on a Clubhouse with half an ear. That's okay, Mallory. Good to see you. You're looking really good, by the way, Mallory. Posting on Instagram. Great stuff. Glad to see you here, of course, in the chat. And great live, 1 a.m. So dedicated by, hi, it's good to see you. Can I compare this with the XPS 13 OLED display? I can. So this, but before we do that, and I'll do that right in a minute, 1440p webcam, 5 megapixels in terms of the actual megapixel count. Really good stuff. I do notice a little bit of noise, I mean, to be nitpicking, but then again, this is so much better than what we've been seeing out of the OEMs with those pretty crappy 720p webcams. No problem, Mallory. All right, so let's bring on the Dell XPS 13. I want to show you the display differences, but again, keep in mind one is going to be OLED and one is a privacy display. Really, totally different approaches. Hold on. So here is the Dell. Let's bring this camera in. So this is the Dell XPS 13 9310 with an OLED 3.5K display. And absolutely gorgeous display. Absolutely gorgeous display. Now, oh, the other thing, 1,000 nits of brightness claimed by HP. I got 815. It is probably one of the brightest displays I've ever seen. K63, I don't have the Swift 5. And I can't give you my opinion, as I don't give opinions as to laptops I have not yet reviewed. So stay tuned. If I do get it, KS63, I will review it. All right. So watch the video. Watch the video. You know what I talk about in the video is how to upgrade this, what you can upgrade, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So here you have the Dell XPS 13. Here you have the Dragonfly MAX. And this is an OLED display. Let's bring up my video. And let's bring up the Dragonfly video on both. Let me get it here. Dragonfly Max. Let's go here. Okay, let's bring those up. And here's my video. Take off the sound. So let me line these up. Wrong video. I put the live stream on the Dragonfly. Give me a second. There it is. Next one. There we go. Okay, what? Let's do it. Okay, so hopefully these are pretty synced up. On the left is an OLED 13.4 inch, 16:10 aspect ratio. On the right, 16:9, 13.3 inch with the Dragonfly Max. This is a bright display. This is a bright display in its own right. I think it's about 400 nits. This is up to 1,000. According to HP, I got 815. Both running the 1185 G7, although I got to say they are limiting the performance on the Max because they wanted to keep the fan noise as quiet as possible, and they succeeded in doing that, by the way. So if you're looking for the most quiet experience, that would be your laptop. If you're looking for the best performance, I would look at other laptops in this category, although the performance for everyday tasks has been great, so not too bad. Let me bring in myself here on the display. All right, so as you can see, the OLED has the really deep blacks, the really excellent contrast, although really excellent contrast on that. A little bit more glossy on this one than on the Dell. But I want to know what you guys think about it. Let me know. So hopefully you can check out the video. The link, of course, I will put it when we're done, but there's a link to buy it. Of course, I don't know why it's saying October. I will reach out as I did to HP. I will let you know what they say, and we'll go from there. All right, which is the best for coding? I'm not a coding person, but if any of our coders out there can weigh in on that, I would appreciate it. They both run pretty well for a thin and light laptop. They're ultra portable, so keep that in mind. No discrete GPU. They both have the integrated Iris Xe graphics. Okay. Now, the other thing you'll notice is that this is a little bit heavier than the G2, which is also concurrently being sold by Lenovo, by HP. All right, let's look at the webcams. Let's it's a good idea. By Tomas, let's compare the webcams. I think you know which one is going to be the winner. Let's line that up. Let's get the camera on the Dell going. 720p, 30 frames per second. Not bad, but a very grainy, as you can see. And then this one, it's hard to show it because of the privacy display, but just if you see it in person, you'll see that the HP has it's a sharper image. Although this is a little bit more saturated, this one is a little bit less saturated, but the noise on that, you'll see the noise a little bit more on this one, so which is 720p. Damn, the black levels are noticeable in the Dell. Yeah, it's an OLED display. It's much better, but how about the HP Spectre 14? I do have that here also, and you're going to get very similar, obviously the really deep blacks, because with an OLED display, what you're doing is you're getting a black display, as black as possible, and then of course the pixels light up as you need them. So that's why the rule of thumb is if you're using an OLED display, use a black background or a dark background, you'll get better battery life because you'll have to light up less pixels, or it'll use less energy as a result. So just a rule of thumb there. Now, as far as the cameras, I mean, obviously this is a better camera, but again, this is not terrible, but again, this is only a 720p, and it's hard to show it on a live stream. Which one has the better display? I would go with Dell with the OLED. I would go with the Dell with the OLED. It's a higher pixel count, and yeah, I agree, William. 720p webcams are mediocre. It's just the limitation, obviously, of the pixel count there. Which is better Wi-Fi. So they're both, I didn't notice any particular advantage, although I believe this is killer Wi-Fi 6 and this is a more traditional Wi-Fi 6. They both worked well. I got good speeds on both. I didn't notice any difference. Again, I could do a comparison. We could do a speed test. They're both connected to my network. Let's take a look. Let's go to speedtest.net. I don't know if this, but again, there's so many factors that go into testing. And let's close this. Hold on. So let's get this lined up here. So let's see which has the better Wi-Fi. As they get going here, let's take a look at it. Waiting on Dell to release that. We expect that hopefully soon. Very similar, and again, I'm in my basement studio here, so it may not be quite as good in terms of the router, getting to the router. Pretty similar, although the uploads are better on the Dell. Interesting. The uploads are better on the Dell. That's interesting. Good to see you, Grendel. How are you, my friend? Which is the value for money? I would say the Dell, obviously, because it's a much less, even though this is not cheap, this is about $1,600, $1,700, and this, of course, is $2,300 to start. So obviously the better value will be the Dell. And again, Dell XPS 13 is geared towards consumers. This is a business-oriented laptop as far as the Max is concerned. We got 57 of you watching, people. Hit the like button. Let's see if we can get this spread out over YouTube. Again, I missed last week for those joining us late. It was Memorial Day weekend. I needed to catch some rest, of course, and I'm so behind on reviews right now. I will catch up this week, I promise. I got a lot of good stuff coming in. I got all-in-one from MSI, which is going to be pretty interesting. Got some other laptops that are arriving this week. So really, really, really busy time, and that's obviously good. Let's take a look. So you can see the results are, this was a little bit better. 197, 180 download, 20 up, 11.5 down. I'm sorry, 20 up and 11.5 up. So looks like that killer, and I believe it is Killer Wireless. Let's go to the device manager here, and let me just double check what we have as far as the network drivers. And you're looking at Killer Wi-Fi 6 AX1650X. And of course, this is, and on the HP, let's take a look at the network adapter. This is using Intel's Wi-Fi 6 AX201. So Wi-Fi 6 on both, just with different OEMs on that. All right, so there you go. Yeah, I heard great things, Mallory, about the Brio. And it is incredible. Yeah, I would love to get my hands on it. I remember during the pandemic, they were astronomical in terms of the price. There was a lot of increase in price of due to the lack of availability of webcams. But yeah, that's great, Mallory. I'd love to see you on that Brio. Maybe have you come on the show. I want to talk about artwork, digital artwork, and I know you are great on that, so we can maybe bring you on. And then what about a post-WWDC live stream of Apple unveils new MacBook Pros? Yes, Steve. I plan to review, hopefully, a 16-inch MacBook Pro. I'm hoping the rumors are true. We'll see. We'll see. Definitely, Mallory. If I can figure out, I had some difficulties a couple of times bringing people on, but I think I figured it out. So we'll definitely do that. And now as far as Apple announcing WWDC, I believe is this week, right? So normally we don't necessarily always get hardware, but we'll see what they do announce. And if there is a MacBook Pro, I will be on that, people. So don't worry about that. Both, according to William, sorry about that, both Wi-Fi cards will be more than sufficient for most users. Absolutely. Absolutely. They work fine. They work fine. I have no issues. Is the touchpad clicky or like haptic on the MacBook? No, this is a physical mouse pad, so touchpad, so you'll actually have a physical click. This one too. Both of these have the same type of technology. They're precision touchpads. They're very responsive, very, very smooth scrolling on them. I have no issues. Gestures are working as you'd expect, so working very well. So the Dell, Kevin, like I said, the Dell as well as the HP both have precision touchpads. They're physical glass touchpads. This is glass. This is glass. Both are premium devices as far as the build. Now, this has a military standard 810H rating, so that means this has been tested against, I think, 19 or 20 tests, I can't remember, to ensure against certain drops, certain environments, how much of a licking can take and keep on ticking, as I mentioned in the video. Very durable. Now, also made of magnesium, as far as CNC magnesium chassis, also made with some ocean-bound plastics. I think the speakers are made of ocean-bound plastics. This magnesium is, I think, made at a 50% recycled. And so they are helping out the environment to some extent, and I like that. I like to see companies do that. The other thing I love about that is I want to show you. Let me move this to the side. We can get back to the Dell in a moment. It also has a very unique feature, and you can see it here. Now, there's an app already built in here called the HP Easy Clean mode. And what this is going to do, it puts it into, it locks your device. So I can sanitize the device. I can clean the device, if I have to. You can get a top-down shot. I can clean the device here. And as you can see, it'll stay like that for 2 minutes. Or I can press Shift-Alt-L, and that will take us out of it. And I think this is something as we're coming out of the pandemic, and a lot of us are going to continue to work from home, something we want to do, as well as, of course, as we're out and about, we want to sanitize our equipment, and this allows you to do that. I think that is a great feature to have. Which is better, the EliteBook G8 or the Elite Dragonfly? So the 1040 G8 is another great one. Again, the Elite line is a great line from HP. I happen to really like the Dragonfly line because it has a little pizzazz. It has a little bit of style. As you can see here, you got that Dragonfly blue on the other one, but of course you have the sparkling black on this one. And by the way, the oleophobic coating on this has been excellent. Let me take it out of the cleaning mode. So Shift-Alt-L gets us out of that. And this, and let's try to get a close-up on that. It's hard to see it on the video, but on the live stream, but this is sparkling black. And it shows, you can see some fingerprints, but usually black laptops, it's usually a fingerprint magnet. This has been really good as far as the oleophobic coating that they've used on this. And I got to say, they did a pretty decent job on it. So good job. Now, you can't quite open it with one finger. I've tried. You have to sort of use two hands, but that's because of the hinge. And it's a 360-degree hinge, of course. That means you could put it into convertible mode. I can't believe it's taken this long to have a feature like that. Normally, that's why I hate having touchscreens. Yeah, and I think it's a simple app, right, Duck? And it's a clever app, right? And especially, it's very timely, especially during the pandemic. As we're coming out of the pandemic, of course, it's good to see things opening. But again, it's still good to see that there are some forward-thinking, simple apps like that. It doesn't take much to do an app like that. Not sure how easy that clean mode is, any different from hitting Control Alt Delete and lock. Yeah, I guess you're right. But it's there. It's just a simple little click, and there you go. You know, it's just there. It's convenient, and it locks it for 2 minutes, and then it takes you out of it. So you could do it, like you said, Jeff. You could do that, but it doesn't. There's no cost to that. It's an easy app, and it doesn't really take up any system resources. So kudos to HP for that. I kind of like what they're doing on that. On which can you fast type? I gotta say, which one I type faster on? We're talking about the HP here. I absolutely love this keyboard. I can't get over how good it is. Now, I like the Dell, and I'll bring it in a moment. I like the Dell, but I love this keyboard. This is really a really excellent keyboard. 1.3 millimeters of key travel. You're looking at really good tactile feedback. Multi-stage backlight. It's hard to show that, of course, in the live stream with all my lights here in the studio. And just really great typing. And it's a quiet keyboard. And especially if you're a business user, you're in a meeting, you don't want the clackety sound. Really nice, quiet keyboard as well. Good tactile feedback. Your fingers don't feel like you're going to bottom out when you're typing. Really, really good stuff. You can see that it has a fingerprint scanner as well. Which country do I belong? The good old US of A, my friend. The US of A. All right. Don't get me wrong, by the way. The Dell keyboard is very good. I just like this one a little bit better. I mean, this is just a really great keyboard. And I love the ThinkPad keyboards as well. So it's really, they've really stepped up their game in terms of HP making great keyboards. Forza Horizon 4 on this. Not a great gaming laptop. Again, they're limiting performance due to the quiet fans they want. Again, you're a business user. You want 5G. You're on the road. You're going to want to take this with you. And to me, that is the premium, right? So, and of course, they're going to buy these in bulk and they're going to get the discounts. So they're going to take it on the road. They've got always connected 5G. Okay, that's forward thinking. And you got the privacy display. Nobody's going to peer over your shoulder and see what, you know, trade secrets you might be have being displayed on your laptop. You're not going to worry about that because it has that privacy display. You're also going to take this out thin and light, and it's stylish looking, but performance is not going to be its strong suit. It's good. It's got a great chipset, the Core i7-1185G7, integrated Iris Xe graphics, V Pro. But it's not going to, they limited the performance intentionally to keep this as quiet as possible. And they succeeded in that. If you want a faster laptop, there are other laptops that I've reviewed that will give you better numbers. Now, the numbers are not terrible. You'll definitely get you'll definitely be able to do Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, all the things you want to do to get productivity work. The occasional game, if you lower the setting, you should be fine. It's not going to get quite as good as others running the same chipset. Which would I choose, the XPS or the MacBook Air M1? That's a good question. Now, the MacBook Air M1, of course, is running the M1 chip, and that is fantastic. I can't wait to see what they're going to bring out in WWDC. Although the Dell has a much superior display, especially the OLED display. It's not even in the same league as far as I'm concerned. And if you want to expand out the storage, you have to go to Dell because you cannot expand out the storage on the Mac. Now, there's no fan in the MacBook Air, right? So that's going to be quieter, but you can't really play games on it, can't run Windows, you can't run an eGPU. So if you want to attach an eGPU to get more horsepower, graphics horsepower, you have to go with the Dell. So there are things you need to take into consideration when you compare something like the Dell XPS 13 versus the MacBook Air M1. Shame they got rid of the Dragonfly Blue. No, you can get it on the G2, which is currently out as well on the Dragonfly. The Max is specifically with this sparkling blue. I thought they were going to have both because the promotional material back in January showed both, I think. So maybe they'll come out with it. I don't know. I actually love that blue. I showed it earlier in the stream. It is actually pretty good. Which would I recommend according to Akufo? Which would I recommend, the Spectre X360 11th gen or the Elite Dragonfly MAX? Now, again, you have to keep in mind, I love the Spectre line. It's a consumer-focused laptop, whereas this is a business-focused laptop. Let me see if I have it here. Hold on. So this is a sibling, of course, on the consumer line. This is the Dell, the HP. Let me zoom out a little bit. This is a great, look, you're getting one of the most interactive channels here. You ask and you get. So this, of course, is the Dragonfly. I keep looking for the button in the corner. They've moved it here onto the keyboard. Hopefully there's some juice in it. 3:2 aspect ratio on this one. I think this has the Core i7-1165G7 OLED display, 3000 by 2000 resolution. And absolutely gorgeous OLED display. And what I can say is, what can you say? This is gorgeous. Again, different focuses. This is a consumer-focused laptop. This is a business-oriented laptop. So really looking at two different kind of laptops. Both have great keyboards. This has a 3:2 taller laptop. Actually, I would have kind of liked something like this on the Dragonfly, especially for business users who use productivity apps like Microsoft Office and the like. You want to type out documents. You can do spreadsheets. I like having the taller nature of the display. You'll do less scrolling when it comes to web browsing. You're going to see more on the display. Gilbert Cortez is asking, do you happen to think the upcoming X1 Extreme will have AMD chipset? I have not heard anything, Gilbert. I doubt it. I think they're going to stick with, again, Thunderbolt support is going to be very important. They're going to be connecting docks. So people are going to be connecting all sorts of peripherals that need Thunderbolt, multiple monitors, 4K monitors. So that's why I don't think you're going to see it, but never say never, and you never know. And if that is the case, we'll definitely check it out either way. But I have no information yet, Gilbert, so stay tuned. If I do have any, I'll let you people know, as long as I'm not under embargo. So we'll see when that's going to come out. Now, I anticipated at some point this year, we're going to see an updated Gen 4, so hopefully that will come out. So we'll see. So again, OLED, the benefits of OLED are going to be a really deep blacks, the really high contrast display. So we'll have to see. Now, X1 Extreme Gen 4 with a 16:10 is something I will pick up day one. That is if they keep the no numpad format. So Executor Raptor, by the way, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Gen 4 with a 16:10 wouldn't surprise me, simply because it seems that's the trend in the X1 line. We saw that with the Carbon. We saw that with the Yoga, the Nano, the Titanium, which has 3:2, but all the others have 16:10. I agree, William. If this had a better webcam, and we can take a look at the webcam, not a great webcam. I've showed it a number of times. 720p front-facing camera. I think I have the privacy shutter on. Let me turn that off. Okay, we can't find your camera. Wrong button. Interesting. I haven't turned this on in a couple of weeks. Let's see. Camera back on. Here we go. So not great. Let's take a look at this camera. And let me turn that shutter off. Okay, so it's hard to show it here, but again, lighting, reflections are going to be an issue here for me in the studio. But you can sort of see it warmer, definitely cooler in terms of the color, the colors on these. I'm on the website. This won't ship until the end of October. Yeah, I saw that. So I'm going to reach out tomorrow to HP and get some answers on that, to my contact, to see what's going on. I thought from the briefing that we had, there were going to be SKUs that are available right now. So as soon as I get that information, I will drop a link in the video, on my video on the laptop, and I'll do it as well as a replay on this live stream, of course. I don't like the colors on this. This is a much better color accuracy on this, by the way. The color on this one, the 720p camera, is just, it's too warm. Maybe we could play with the settings, but really, really not that great. And again, I expect to see better cameras going forward, and this is the first step with this Dragonfly MAX, so we'll see. We got 84 of you watching. So we'll see as far as availability. I know it's showing October right now. It is expensive. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. $2,300 start. Yeah, I look orange. It's way too warm. Maybe I could play with the settings, but it doesn't matter. It's not a great webcam. I've said that in the past. This one is much better. But having said that, this display is absolutely gorgeous. 3:2, 3000 by 2000. And this one, of course, is a 16:9. I look orange like Trump. Good old Grendel. All right, M1 Mac, Lena Sharma. M1 Mac is cheaper and better in most of the specs. Which do you like the most? I've gone over this so many times, Lena. The problem is the M1 Mac, and again, are you talking about the Air or the Pro? Either way, you're going to be limited as far as expanding out storage. But for most general people, that's not going to be an issue because you'll be fine, I guess, when you buy it. And of course, you can game better on the Spectre, so we'll see. But as far as getting back to the Mac, yeah, I mean, it's great. The M1 is great. But again, if you're locked into the Mac ecosystem, the Apple ecosystem, yeah, it's a no-brainer. But if you play games, if you want external GPU, if you want to run Windows natively, if you want to expand out the storage and all that, no, you can't go with the Mac. You're going to have to go with the Windows laptop. You want a touch display, you're going to have to go with the Windows. So there you go. My HP Pavilion is just worse, millions of whatever. I'm sorry to hear that, Raja. All right. Should I wait for the M2 Mac? I would wait to see what's going to be announced this week at WWDC. We're hearing rumors of new hardware. Why not wait? If you can wait a few days, we'll find out. So we'll see. All right. Super chats, people, super stickers, memberships open, thumbs up, get that like button up, the count up so we can get this spread out over YouTube. For those joining us late, it's Andrew. Good to see everybody here. It's been a couple of weeks since I did a live stream. I took last week off for those joining us late because Memorial Day weekend, and I needed to spend time with the family, get some rest, catch up on some reviews. This past week, if you're joining me late, I reviewed this laptop to my right, which is the HP Elite Dragonfly MAX, which has got that 1000-nit SureView display, which is actually 815 nits according to my measurements, but that's not big deal. It is super bright. I got to say super bright, searingly bright, I should say. I had to lower it down even for this live stream because it's actually was pretty up there, but my cameras adjust. Very, very bright display. If you really like bright displays, then obviously this is going to be of your interest. So it choose, and of course I would like to have the option of a 4K. We don't get that on that. But then again, there are so many other options out there for other laptops in this realm. So we can see X360 laptop, which is better. X360 or laptop, which is better. So clamshell versus convertible, it just depends on which you prefer. It's a matter of personal preference. Best Buy has really poor selection in store. Yeah, they have not had good supply or good selection for the past year and a half, to be honest. So you're a lot better off buying it directly from the OEMs, I think, like from HP or wherever, but we'll see. Which do you think is the best Windows laptop? Not a gaming geek. I like, it depends, again, it depends on the size of the display, but I do like the XPS 13 a lot with the OLED 3.5K display. I really love that display. It may be overkill, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Check out my video on that I did a couple of weeks ago. I also like the HP, I like what we have here. As you see here, I like that. And the HP line, the Spectre line does not come with a SIM card, right, Jeff? That is the other thing. So This has absolutely great 5G on this. I'm happy that they do include that. You could also get it with LTE. Now, the 5G, if you notice, if you customize it on the website, it's like a $400 premium. It's a very expensive premium, and that's because they're using the Snapdragon X55 modem, which is a Cat 20 5G modem, and very expensive. And I think they did a lot of R&D. They put a lot of money into that card, and I think that's why you're seeing it very expensive. So they did send me an AT&T test card, card that I can use to test out, a SIM card. That modem is working great. Now, you don't have to go with the 5G. You can go with the LTE. There is an option for that, and it is a $400 less. So that is something to keep in mind. Is the HP Elite Inspector better than Max? Again, it depends on what you want out of your laptop. The Max, again, M1 is great benchmarks, good synthetic benchmarks, great in everyday use. The MacBook Air M1 has no fan, so you don't hear any loud fan noise. You don't have to contend with that. Although if you're doing anything for more than 10 minutes of intensive work or intensive tasks, it will throttle down, whereas you'd want to go with the MacBook Pro M1, and that one has active cooling on that. So that's been showing to be great. But then again, there are other factors. Expandable memory, you cannot do on either one, but expandable storage, I should say, to be able to connect to an external GPU, which you cannot do on the M1 Max, to be able to play games properly, to be able to run Windows natively, all the things that you're doing. So Harsh is asking me which camera I'm using. I've got, that leads me to something else I want to talk about. So this camera here is my camera 1, and this is a Lumix G4. I've had it forever. No, the Lumix G7. I'm sorry. I've had this since for like 3-4 years at least, pretty much from the beginning of the channel or so. But I'm repurposing it here for the video. I'm using I think a 25 millimeter lens or something like that. And then it's a fixed lens. And then camera 2, this is my Sony A6400, Alpha 6400, and it's got a Sigma 16 f1.4 lens on that, which is a pretty popular lens. Camera number 3 is my Sony FDR AX33 camcorder, which is like a prosumer type camcorder. And then camera 4 is my Panasonic Lumix GH4. And that has, I think, a 42.5 millimeter lens, fixed lens. And then camera 5 is what I do most of my A-roll, but I'm using it for something else now, and I'll tell you why. Let me move my coffee out of the way. And this is a Sony FDR AX700 prosumer camera. And this, what I'm showing you here is my new switcher that was sent to me by Blackmagic. For those of you who use DaVinci Resolve, you might know Blackmagic. They do the A10 Minis. I have the original A10 Mini back here. You can't see it, which is what I was using. This is the A10 Mini Extreme ISO. And I'm going to be doing a video of behind the scenes this week on the channel showing how I switch cameras. The A10 Mini Extreme ISO has 8 inputs. So I can do up to 8 inputs, 8 cameras. I could do 5 or 6 cameras. I could do 2 other inputs, like other computers. I could bring their screens onto the display. I'm not really. I use most of it for the stuff I do here, but we'll talk about that in a moment, Jeff. But again, I want to thank Blackmagic for sending this over and giving me a really nice press briefing and demonstration of this. I will have to return this, unfortunately, but I like it so much, I will have to get one myself because it is absolutely beautiful. I mean, as far as what I'm able to do, streamlines everything. Now, this is the ISO version. What that means, and I don't want to get too technical here, I have 8 inputs potentially. I have 5 I'm using today. There are 2 others I'm not right now, 3 others I'm not. So I have 8 inputs back here. They're all HDMI. And what I can do is record each one. I can isolate the video and audio of each one and then bring it into DaVinci Resolve or to Final Cut Pro that I actually use. And that has been unbelievable in my workflow. And I'll do a video on this. Now, the other thing with this is not cheap. I think it's about $1,300 or $1,400. I'll drop a link when this video is over or this live stream's over. And again, I'm going to be doing a dedicated video on this. I like it so much. Now, one of the other things I can do, there's a button here called Super Source. So if I hit that, I can have up to 4 of my sources on at once. So I have camera 1s through 4 actually on right now, and I can show the different angles. And I think it's great, and I can have different backgrounds. I chose my traditional background in the background here, but behind these layouts. And as you can see, a nice way, and I could actually change that with the software. And again, I don't want to get too much into it now because it's just one thing you have to. That's not I want to do live stream today, but I want to show you what I'm using to do live stream. I could change these layouts. I can go to this kind of layout. I can do 2. I can do this kind of layout, and it's all sorts of possibilities. All sorts of possibilities on this. So Jeff was asking, do I use any of these cameras for general purpose photography outside of the studio? I have another camera, Canon, that I've been using, a Rebel T5 I've been using for years. I actually use that and it works fine. I tend to keep my main cameras that I use for videos and live streams in the studio. I used to do a lot of it by my pool outside in my backyard, or rather by my backyard in my other house. But since I have a bigger studio now, I now pretty much moved it all into the indoors. So, but I want to thank Blackmagic for sending this over. It's been fantastic. I'm thinking of shelling out big money now to buy this. I don't get to keep this, unfortunately, but it's really worked out well, much surprisingly well, because I think I've outgrown my A10 Mini, which only had 4 inputs, and I'm just touching the surface with it so far. There's so many other capabilities. I can live stream remotely with this because you can connect your mobile phone, and it can use your mobile connection as the thing, so that's pretty good. Off topic, happy National Yo-Yo Day. Well, I don't want to laugh about that, but I know you like yo-yos, Handquake, and good to see you, my friend. It is funny, though, that it is a little bit off topic, but that's okay. I'm the king of off topic. We're talking about the A10 Mini Extreme ISO that Blackmagic was kind enough to send over. So I will be doing a behind the scenes look at that, and I really want to show you some more on that. So for those who are interested in doing live streams or to know how all this works, just out of curiosity, the technical aspect, it might be interesting. So check it out if you are interested in that, and that will be coming. Does the HP, Nevin is asking, does the Dragonfly MAX have both tile and 5G or just tile and 5G? So that's another great question. I thought my review unit would have the tile. I don't think it has it. I do have the Gen 1 that did have the tile back there in the studio, so it doesn't have both. I don't think it has both, but I will ask HP when I ask them about the availability as well. I will ask them if you can get tile and 5G, or does it have to be one or the other? My guess is it has to be one or the other. And I didn't see that it was, and again, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, when you customize it, is there a tile availability on that? Because I thought that's what it was going to be, but I don't know if that is the case, but we'll have to see. I'll let you know once I hear from HP on that. Which is the best laptop with a 4K OLED? And by the way, tile, for anybody who wants to know what that is, it's very similar to AirTags that Apple just released. Tile tracking is allowed. It's like the low jack for laptops. So if your car ever got stolen, you know how to find it. Same thing with your laptop, that kind of thing. Which is the best? Raja's asking, which is the best laptop with a 4K OLED, 70 watt-hour battery, touchscreen with a i7 CPU? Well, I guess it would have to be the X1 Extreme Gen 3 and hopefully soon Gen 4. I haven't heard anything yet. But OLED 4K, bigger battery, more than 70 watts, so that should fit that bill. I think that's one that comes to mind. Anybody else? The Dell XPS doesn't have OLED on the bigger models, at least not yet. I think we're going to be seeing those soon. So right now it would have to be the X1 Extreme Gen 3. Anybody else have any other suggestions on that? That's what now XPS 13. I think he wanted. Well, yeah, okay. So the XPS 13 would be one. I thought maybe the bigger laptop. Oh, the battery. I think that is a 63 or 62 watt-hour battery. So it doesn't have the 70 watt-hour battery. That's why I was thinking of the X1 Gen 3. And Kush is also saying the 3.5 OLED. I don't think that battery is more than 70. It's not. It's below 70. But good battery life for an OLED, as you saw in the video. HP Pavilion X360 unbox, please, with the 2021 version. I'm waiting on HP. I'll reach out to them because that did really well on my channel. Stay tuned. I should be able to get one, hopefully. I need a laptop with LTE. Well, we got one here. This has not only LTE, but 5G support. That's thanks to that Qualcomm Snapdragon X55 modem, Cat20 modem. So there you go. Should I stay away from Chinese tablets like Aldo Cube? The only problem, and again, if you watch my channel, you know I did a lot of that early on. Aldo Cube, the Chewies, the Xiaomis in the beginning, when they were more of a cheaper brand. Bass King, all that. I've reviewed my share of those early on if you watched any of my early videos. The problem is, yes, they're good. You're going to have to import them. And then if you have a problem, warranty, you're going to be probably out of luck unless you're in China. So if you're willing to take that chance, you're going to get some decent value, although they are marking it up, a lot of these retailers over at AliExpress and so forth. So it just depends. Does the X1 Extreme support LTE? I thought it does, but I can't be sure. ThinkPad X1 Extreme Gen 3, I think, has optional LTE. But correct me if I'm wrong. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I think it does. I think that the ThinkPad line tends to support it. So anybody have that answer, let me know. I could look it up, but all right. So Lenovo has come out with a new cool tablet, according to Jeff. The Lenovo Yoga Pad Pro 13, but it's only being released in China right now, hoping it comes to the USA. Yeah, I know. I think Chris at Tech Tablets, I don't know if he reviewed it or he did something. I know he did one recently. Maybe I'm confusing which tablet he looked at. But yes, I don't know if it's going to come to the USA, and I don't know if Lenovo's going to send me one. I might have to import one if I was going to review it, but I'd have to have enough demand to do that because I would have to go out of pocket. So I'd have to weigh that. Oh, speaking of out of pocket. So just an update on the Samsung saga for those of you who are not knowing what I'm talking about. I bought a Samsung Galaxy Fold 2 after about 7 months. I started to see a crack in the display, a wear and tear after about 7 months. I sent it to to Samsung's Premier service. They repaired it apparently, and then they shipped it via UPS. UPS prompted to lose it. They actually lost my phone. So more than a month later now, I finally got reimbursed my full price. I think I paid $2,100 with tax and everything. So I did get a check from Samsung. So Samsung, thank you for resolving that. And it took a little bit of time, but we got it resolved. Now I'm working on what happened with my trade-in. I traded in my Fold 1. I was supposed to get credited $800. I didn't get that. I'm working on that now. I think we may have resolution on that as well. So just to give you an update, I did get reimbursed. I'm not going to buy a new Fold 2. I'm going to wait for the Fold 3, where we're seeing rumors that it will be coming later this year. So I'm done with the Fold 2. I liked it, although I would have preferred to have it held up after 7 months. But hopefully the next version will be better. Okay, so for those wondering, it has been resolved. I got my money back. End of that story for now. So there you go. Is YouTube my full-time job? Not yet, or I shouldn't say not yet. It is. It's a full-time job, but I also have a full-time day job as well. I consider them both full-time jobs. So or you can call them both part-time jobs, but they're both take up pretty much most of my day. So sort of full-time, I guess. I do invest my time and resources into this channel. I love doing it, and I love having everybody come every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific time for the live streams. Hope you do enjoy it. Oh, we have 108. When did we get that? All of a sudden, now we have a lot of people joining us. Again, welcome. Thank you. Hit that like button, people. I appreciate everything you guys do for me and gals. Your view on the ThinkPad T-Series. I like the T-Series. I like the fact that you get the AMD processors. I have stuff coming on that, so stay tuned. X-Series as well, X13, I believe. I have some things here. I got to go through. Again, I am so behind. I apologize to the brands and to the audience because I have been inundated. I've gotten so behind because, and that's going to lead me to the next thing. I'm going to be looking for an editor to hire to help me do some of these videos because the channel has grown and I just need help. I can't, it's hard to do it all by myself, working my day job, working this. So I may be looking for somebody to hire to edit my videos. So I will be talking more about that soon. So stay tuned. We'll get that figured out. Are ThinkPads better than Elites? I like them both. I think they offer different things. I think the ThinkPads have their own specific things they bring to the table, and I think the Elite books do the same. So it's just a matter of what you want to do with that. So if you mind, what's my outside job? I've said it before. I'm in the legal field. Let's leave it at that. What else is there? Best convertible with LTE, huge battery, OLED touch display from HP or Dell. Oh, okay, you always put me on the spot, Raja. Okay, so best convertible, so it has to be convertible with LTE, OLED touch display. Convertible, which one has OLED? Oh my God, so it would have to be HP Spectre 14. It would have to be, because there's no other OLED, or the 15. So those were the only ones with OLED, right? So I don't think Dell has anything. The only OLED they have is the 13 that I just reviewed on the XPS 139310. That has a touch display, but that's not a convertible. So you'd have to go with HP on that, according to your specific question. Yeah, I'm waiting on Asus on that, my friend. I haven't heard from them, so we'll see. I appreciate that, Rohit. That means a lot to me. Thank you. How are you, my friend Avinash? Good to see you. And I can't believe we're at 56 minutes already. So I don't know how long we're going to go today. So we'll see. It depends on how many questions we get. I don't want to go too long today because I do have a lot of work to do, even though it's Sunday, and I do want to jump in the pool. It's hot here in Las Vegas. I think it's been like 110 every day for the past week. So there you go. I had a friend come over from New York. Good to see my friend for 35 years. We've been friends for more than 35 years. He came to a trade show here in Las Vegas, and it was good seeing him. And it's always good to reconnect with old friends, that's for sure. Especially, when you don't get to see them all that often, but it's good to see them. Yeah, 110 is not heaven, my friend, in this extreme heat, but it is better than certain other temperatures, that's for sure. Your opinion on the Samsung Galaxy Book S with Intel? I did the Book S with the Snapdragon 8CX, I believe. And where you're up, you're on the Northeast, right, Jeff? So that is 90 degrees, probably humid if I'm not mistaken. Now, of course, I grew up in New York. So as far as the Galaxy Book S with Intel, I think that's a limited processor, but I don't have experience with that. Maybe I will soon. All right, it's around 86 degrees here in Ohio. Okay, Andrea. Yep, Jersey. So you're in New Jersey, and I have a lot of people in the tri-state area, and you say it's hot. You say it's hot, and it's not even summer yet. You must be looking forward to a very hot summer. I am not, William. The summer here is brutal. The air conditionings will be running 24/7, so I am not looking forward to that. However, we do get some great months outside of the summer, of course, and so it's worth it that way. We have seasons here in Las Vegas, but the summers here are hot. I got to say, it's a dry heat. It's not humid, but hot is hot. I don't care. Everybody says, well, it's dry. It's not humid. I don't care. 120 degrees is still 120 degrees, and we've hit 120 plus. I've had that experience, and that is not fun. Do you think that the Iris negates any benefits the 11th gen compared to older gen with discrete graphics? Good question, John. I think the Iris Xe graphics are a tremendous improvement over other integrated solutions. It does help. It's better. I think it's on par with all MX graphics that we've seen as discrete GPUs. But I think, of course, it's always better to have a discrete GPU such as the GTX or RTX NVIDIA graphics we've seen. So that's my take on it, but I got to give kudos where kudos are due, and I think the Intel Iris Xe graphics really are good. They did a really good job when it comes to graphics. According to Akil, Viback, one idea about the Galaxy Book Pro 360 review will be published. That is coming this week. I'm almost done with that. I wanted to give it real good test, and I think you're going to like it. So, Akil, that is coming. So stay tuned. Ocean, you're in the Indian Ocean here. Winter, 25 degrees Celsius. So what is that? 25 degrees Celsius. That in the 70s or 80s, I guess, if you can convert that. That doesn't sound too bad, but I know it's pretty humid there, right? I know my brother-in-law lives in Vegas, and he always tells me about the temperature there. Yeah, it's hot. I get a lot. In fact, the last few days I've been getting weather alerts, heat index alerts, like saying it's beware, be careful because of the high temperatures we've been seeing here in Las Vegas. What would you prefer, ThinkPad Extreme Gen 3 or Apple MacBook 16 for video editing? Now, me personally, I like the MacBook Pro 16 because I use Final Cut Pro, but that's my personal use case scenario. But obviously, the X1 Extreme Gen 3 can do really nice with Premiere Pro. You will see thermal throttling, and that's just the way it is with a thin 15-inch laptop. That is what you get, although it is pretty good. John Keese, thanks. I appreciate that, man. Meant it that one. Good to see Kasara Tech Studio in the house. How are you, my friend? Thanks for my videos. I appreciate that. All right. You know what? I realized we have 96 people watching and only 80 likes. People, get that like button. Let's get a 1-to-1 ratio. Does the AC in the Tesla... Okay, that's a good question, Olaf. Does the AC in Tesla eats up the battery? So yes, it does. Obviously it makes sense, right? So it does take some battery life out of the Tesla, the range, I should say, not the life, the range. Weather certainly affects the Tesla, both in cold weather, you lose a certain range because the battery has to heat up, so they're using the heaters. And then, of course, in the summer, the battery, it heats up, so you got to cool it down, and there you lose more range there. So ideally, it's not the best in the extremes in either way, but yes, it does affect. The weather does affect battery, and the AC specifically, if you're running the air conditioning, takes away some battery life. Battery range. I didn't see it that much in my Model S. My wife has the Model 3, and but I don't go long distances. She goes much more than I do. So she's actually charging more at the supercharge than I do. I only charge every 2 or 3 days because I don't really go that much. I'm here in the studio, go to my office, and that's pretty much it, which is 10 minutes away. All right, Raphael, good to see you, my friend. I always look forward to your weekly live streams. I'm glad you like it, Raphael, and it's good to see you. All right. Take care and have a good day, my friend. Akil, thank you for stopping by. Handquake, you know what I'm talking about. 15 or 20 days are 110. Yeah, so you're in Vegas, and so you know how brutal it can get. Now, I do have a pool. I do have a spa that I use in the summertime to cool off, so I will be making use of that today, actually. Any special stream for WWDC? I can. I can't do it while the event is live, but I couldn't do a wrap-up maybe the end of the day. So stay tuned. I might do that depending on my schedule and depending on what gets announced. I'll do this. If there is hardware, Kisara, I will do something, okay? I will do a special midweek live stream on that. All right, so I covered today and then let me get it back onto the screen here. And you can see how the camera worked really well, the infrared camera. This is the HP Elite Dragonfly MAX. And I like it. I like it. I don't like its price, to be honest. But again, you got to know who the audience is here. We're looking at, and you were looking at that. Good to see Michael Pepper Tech. How are you, my friend? And your birthday, your son's 3rd birthday today. So congratulations on that. Wish him a happy birthday, and thanks for stopping by, Michael. Good to see you. This is the HP Elite Dragonfly MAX, Gen 3. Dragonfly MAX. The key points to take away, of course, is the 5-megapixel webcam, capable of up to 1440p video. You get a really great keyboard on this. You get a great display that gets up to 1,000 nits. Although if you're not a big fan of the privacy displays, and I'll show you here for those joining us late, I'm in the privacy mode through a click of a button, and as you can see, you cannot see what's on the display from a side angle. And if you're looking at it direct, you're fine. You're looking at it direct, you're fine. There is no reason. Yeah, there is a reason I'm not on Amazon, Handquake, and I used to do more Amazon. It's because I don't know how, and I got to speak to somebody at Amazon. I tried doing both at the same time, but Ecamm Live, which is a software I prefer, didn't work properly with Amazon, but I haven't tried it in a while, so I might be doing that again. I used to do a lot of live streams on Amazon. I used to simulcast between the two, but great question, Handquake, and I'm looking into that again because I like doing it on Amazon as well. I do put videos, by the way, on Amazon. I repurpose them, so for people looking for information on specific laptops and so forth, you can actually find my videos on Amazon, believe it or not. So there you go. Yeah, I got to talk to Lon. I know he uses which is the Windows version of the streaming software. I always forget. But anyway, he uses a different software that works pretty well, I guess, for both. So I'm going to talk to Lon.tv about that. So I will do that. Thank you, Handquake, for bringing that up. And it's a good platform, and it's good to branch out. I agree. It's not for average consumers, although if you do have the money and you do like to have some pretty sharp looking devices with some interesting features, and especially if you're on the road, you want the 5G, and if you want the or LTE, and if you want to have the 1,000 nit display, which again, I got 815, but still fantastic. I mean, look at that. It has to adjust down because my camera's here. I have to actually lower it. Otherwise it will blow out the cameras. But anyway, it's just not for the average consumer. I agree. Price is prohibitive, $2,300. But again, like I said, companies will buy these in bulk. They will get a discount from HP. 20 starts. Look at the link in the description of this live stream. There's a link to HP's website. 2,300. It's not shipping till October 24th or something to that effect. I'll find out. I was on the impression there were some SKUs that were available right away. I will reach out to HP tomorrow. Am I going to do a Chromebook, Asus Chromebook detachable CM3000? I don't know. I'd have to hear from Asus. And again, Chromebooks don't do very well on my channel. Also, can you please do a video on premium Chromebooks as they're getting more attention lately? I have a few here that were sent to me. Again, my problem is Chromebooks don't do well, but if I get enough demand, I will certainly do it. We'll see. But thank you for bringing it up. Any flex on the Dragonfly? Screen flex, do you mean like wobble? So you can see here, pretty sturdy. You see, the convertibles will have a little bit. And then as far as flex on the display itself, I don't know which one you mean. So if you go here, let's see here. Not much. It's pretty rigid. It's got that magnesium chassis, CNC magnesium chassis. You know, it's a little flex on the display, but it's pretty solid. You know, it's got that military A10H rating. So you'll see it here. You'll see the black, sparkling black on that. There is a little bit of wobble, but that's going to be normal for any 2-in-1 convertible. So you will notice some wobble, but that's not much. I've seen worse. It's got a pretty sturdy hinge. Of course, you could always put it into the convertible modes. Here you got the tent mode. There you can see that. And then, of course, you got the stand mode. We'll talk about the pen in a moment. And then, of course, you have the tablet mode. I had the pen here. So the pen, so that doesn't, okay, so this is another gripe. This is the pen. This is the pen, and it doesn't come with it. You got to buy it separately. Now, this is the one they sent me with the original Dragonfly, which I still have to send back, but I'm glad I didn't because I'm able to show you the differences, and I'm glad I have the pen. So this pen uses the Wacom AES 2.0 technology, so it worked pretty well. You can use it to navigate through the OS and so forth. And again, you can see that the certain angles are not great on these reflect displays. So you can see it sort of there. But again, the pen it's an extra accessory, and I think they should have included it. I think they should have definitely included it. You can see it here. It's a pretty good pen. I like it. Why not include it in the box? That's my gripe, right? So not too bad. I'm very upset, Jeff. I was hoping for a better showing. They only won one game, so they lost in 5. Hats off to the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young had a tremendous series. The Knicks, I'm not disappointed in the fact that the New York Knicks, the way they flamed out in the playoffs really showed their deficiencies, but I'm very happy with the direction the franchise is going in. Nobody expected them to win more than 25, 26 games. They wound up winning 41 games, I believe, and they're the 4th seed in the East, and nobody expected that. I think Coach Thibs did a great job, and they just need another piece. They need another superstar that they're going to hopefully get. And again, they have draft capital this year. They've got draft picks, the 2 draft picks that they're going to have, in the second round and the first round, there are 2. And of course, you also have cap space. So that's a great position to be in. So I'm optimistic. Unlike previous seasons where they were not even a playoff team, we should be happy with the direction they're going in. Over 2K and no pen included. That is correct, Jeff. All right, so I'm watching your live stream for the first time, but it's looking impressive. I have a question. I draw vector illustrations and draw animations on Animator. What do you recommend, Mac or Windows? Well, if you want to draw directly on the display, then you'll have to go to Windows, which has pen support. There are so many good ones out there, whether you use Wacom, whether you use N-Trig or the MPP 2.0, which is what they're calling it now. There are a lot of options out there. So Abhay, there are just a lot. Now, as far as Mac, you can always get a Wacom tablet by Intuos, and you could always get that drawing on that. It just depends on what you're doing. I think it's better to always have it right directly on the display. That's just me. Again, many, many Windows laptops out there that you can do that. So Stereotype 0815, I had a big problem with the Shore View on an HP EliteBook X360, 1040 G5. Even when it was disabled, the viewing angles are very poor. It's much better. It's not perfect. I'm going to tell you, a traditional display would be better. It's not perfect, but a bigger improvement than past iterations. They are well ahead of schedule, I agree. Yes, the Knicks are ahead of schedule. Finally, we can then, and I know we're not a sports show. Maybe I should do a separate channel on that. They are ahead of schedule. I considered anything that we got out of the playoffs a bonus. So I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. So we'll see. Again, draft capital, and they have money as far as cap room. So that's good. Why is the EliteBook X360 1030 G3 the last one you reviewed from the 1030 line? I might have one here, but it's just what they send me. I can't control what they send me. They just didn't, so I don't know. I have to check to see what I reviewed on that. I may have something here. Again, I got a lot of laptops that came in that I didn't get to yet. Why has Apple not come out with a touchscreen laptop? Is it to protect their iPad line? Yeah, I think, Joe, I think you hit the nail on the head on that one. They're not going to cannibalize their iPad sales, which are really great. They control the market as far as tablets are concerned. And they don't want to cannibalize that, so they keep them separate. So they're not going to add in a touch display. Although what's interesting is that Touch Bar, from what I understand, is going to be removed from the leaked images and the leaked rumors that will debut on WWDC. If there is going to be hardware for, say, a MacBook Pro 16, they're not going to give you the Touch Bar, which is fine with me. I'm not a big fan of it. You will continue to have the Touch ID. You'll have a MagSafe connector in addition to the Thunderbolt 4 ports. So maybe going in the right direction. And Michael Diaz with the super sticker rather, $5. Thank you, my friend, and I appreciate that. And I really love any kind of support you guys give me, whether it be financially or watch time, hitting the thumbs up, subscribing. It all adds up to channel growth. So Ramin is asking, I'm researching about finding a laptop to buy for cross-platform development, working on large code bases, most of the time engaged in compiling and building Windows and Linux. Any recommendation? Well, I reviewed some workstations that might fill your need. I have one here, the ThinkPad 14S mobile workstation that I'm going to get to this week. So we'll check that out. I reviewed stuff from the Precision line from Dell. You might want to check that out. So there are a lot of that are, we could have a whole show on that. So stay tuned. I may have more of that coming. And again, I'm not a coder, so keep that in mind. Yes, 100 likes. Like 1,000 likes, but I'll take 100. We got 116 of you watching, 102 likes. I appreciate everybody stopping by. We're at an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know how much longer we're going to go. So far, I am into the Acer Nitro 5 QHD 165 hertz R9. That's the Ryzen 9 5900 HJs. That's a good. I would love to get my hands on one if you can, but not sure about the Linux compatibility. I don't have that information. I'd love to review that Nitro 5. I've reached out to Acer. We'll see what'll happen on that. So we'll see. What kind of, Andreas is asking, what kind of laptop do I recommend for work and some lightweight gaming? I am working as a teacher and I am using simpler games like City Skyline, Total War, and such in my classes sometimes. All right, so you're a teacher. I like, so you want to do some lightweight gaming. Probably the ThinkPads are good. The X1 Carbon depends on what, I need more information. What kind of size display? Is it 14, 13, 15, 17? But there are so many out there. You know, we're at a good time when it comes to laptops. So many out there right now. I think that's been really great. Jeff is telling Savik, definitely towards corporate users. Andrew mentioned it's probably geared towards companies buying in bulk and getting a discount. And Jeff is correct. This is definitely one for the businesses, and it is a business laptop. It's their Elite line. So if I can get into focus here. So I don't know why it's not getting in focus. There it is. But here you can see the problem with that display is that angles are not going to be great even when it's off. See, now it's off. But you can sort of see some glare. You see that? Again, not perfect, but again, they want to have the business feature of having that privacy display. That's an important one. I appreciate that, OP Stark. Okay, so the new M1 iPad, I skipped it, the iPad Pro. I skipped it because I thought it was expensive. I thought it was, it's an interesting mini LED, and I don't know, they don't tend to do very well on my channel, the Apple products, but not to say never, but I just didn't see and I was not going to be the first one to review it. Obviously, they're seeding it to bigger channels. So if I were to buy it and get a couple of thousand views, it's just not worth it. I have a 2018 iPad, and I'll show you here. And I have the newer dock, by the way. Works well with the and it works well with this keyboard case, and you can see it. I like it. I like it. So, but you're only limited to the angle to there. This is the new keyboard, Magic Keyboard. It does flip around like this, but it only goes to that amount. I kind of wish it went more, to be honest. But it works well. And this is a 2018 third gen iPad Pro, 12.9 inch. It works well. It works well. So I could do it. I could get one and maybe review it. But again, that would be a heavy investment. I already have the keyboard, so I wouldn't have to do that. And I'd have to get the pencil. I don't have the pencil. But I use this. I take it with me everywhere. I kind of use it a lot when I'm on the go. I have the LTE on this. I know the 5G is in the new one. So I don't know. I don't know, to be honest with you. If I would review it, it just might not be worth it. All right. So would you recommend the Asus ZenBook Duo 14 or the X12 detachable? That's a good question, Satvik. I like them both because the ZenBook Duo 14 has that extra display that is really, I love it. That screen pad is really good. especially in that newer version with a matte display on that, so you get a better viewing angle on it as well. The X12 detachable is great, which I have here as well. So it's just a matter of the form factors. One's a clamshell and one's a detachable. So if you like the Surface Pro type devices, then of course the X12 detachable. If you like a more traditional clamshell but want an extra display, then the ZenBook Duo would be the Duo 14 would be your choice. So it's just a matter of what you prefer. They're both very good, and I like them both. So you can't go wrong with either one. So William is asking, stating, it goes to show that even PCs that are several years old are still good and will meet most of user needs. And that is a very good point, William. This is 2018 and is working fantastically. I have no reason to upgrade. It is fast enough. It's got everything I need. It's got a great display. It's working as I need it. So there is absolutely no reason for me to upgrade to a mini LED. Absolutely no reason for me to upgrade to an M1 chip on this, because there really is nothing that takes advantage of that M1, at least not yet. Maybe WWDC will bring more out of that, but right now I just don't see it. Want a new iPad Touch? Would be fun to play with. Yeah. Do they even still make the iPad Touch? I guess they do. Do they? I don't even know. That's an interesting question, but yeah, that would be fun. All right. The Dragonfly MAX or the X1 Carbon Gen 9, if they were the same price. I love the Max, don't get me wrong, but I love the X1 Carbon Gen 9 for a couple of reasons. I like the 16:10 aspect ratio. I like I could get the 4G on that. I think maybe 5G is coming on that. And then I also like the fact the keyboard on that is fantastic. But again, that 16:10 aspect ratio, more traditional display on that. You have that option. You don't get that on the Dragonfly. Don't get me wrong, the Dragonfly is great, but the 16:9 to me is a relic of the past. I would go with the 16:10. That's just me. Having said that, I like a lot of the features that the Dragonfly MAX brings to the table, especially that webcam. So William is still using his 2018 Spectre with a better webcam, and it still meets all my needs. And you know my feelings on that. They really nailed it. I think HP really nailed it back in 2018 with that 1080p webcam. I know exactly. I reviewed it early on in my channel, and they went backwards. They really did not make any strides until now, until the Elite Dragonfly MAX that we have here today. So we've come back to where we were. We sort of come back to the future, so to speak. But yes, William, I agree 100%. All right, so how does everybody like the live stream today? We're now at an hour and 22 minutes. We actually got 130, almost 130 people, but we have 106 likes. So please hit that like button. Any other questions before we start wrapping it up? What is the best? So Zane is asking, what is the best pen device you have used? I'm looking for something directed at designing and stuff like that with an emphasis on pressure sensitivity. Oh boy, I do like the S Pen on the Galaxy Book Pro 360 that I'm almost finished with that review. I should have that this week. I like that pen. That's a good pen. I like the pressure sensitivity on that. I like the Wacom. And I think Wacom is good AES technology. So it just depends. Even the MPP 2.0, which uses the N-Trig, is good. It's just a matter of personal preference. Some people may even want the pencil for the iPad. So it's just a matter of personal preference. Okay, so Satvik is asking, when do you think Microsoft will come out with the new Surface 8 Pro? I think in the fall. I'm pretty sure we're going to see it in the fall. Again, I have no information. I'm just going on what I'm hearing as far as rumors, but I don't know. What's the monitor to your left? Okay, that's the other thing. All right, so this is a 38-inch monitor. It's from Dell, and Dell sent it over. I will have that review this week for sure because I got to send it back. It's a curved monitor. It was announced back at CES. It's the and I think I put it into the description of this video, so check it out. This monitor is working out great. It's I don't know the resolution. I forgot whatever it is. It's a widescreen monitor. It's great for video editing. It's great for and you could as a Visa mount, you can mount it. But I like this curved display, 38 inches, gives you a lot of screen real estate. I can have two monitors back to back, sort of do the same trick with this. So you have one half and then one half. It's actually really good. Yes, it's good according to Michael. I just got it for that purpose. Yeah, so this week for sure, and the check is in the mail. So you know I guess my reputation precedes me, right? And quick, it is huge. Yeah, I like it. I got to start doing more peripherals. I don't know how many views it'll get, but again, I'm looking for somebody to help me to edit video. I need help. I'm overwhelmed. I've got too many laptops, too many products coming in, and not enough time. So I will be expanding I will have to have a help. So I will have to hire somebody. What's your take? Abhinav is asking, what's my take on the Snapdragon-powered laptops? It's going to kill Intel. No, it's not. Not yet. I like it. I'm a fan. If you watch my channel, you know I'm a fan of these. I just did the Elite Folio from HP. That has the Snapdragon 8CX2, I believe. Yeah. And that is actually pretty good. I have it here. Okay, I have it here. Let's bring it onto the stream. So I already unboxed this, and it's got that faux leather. And as you can see here, it's got the pull forward display. It's also a Windows Hello camera. And as you can see, you have the different modes. I am loving this. So it's got the built-in LTE, but there is an optional 5G. They sent the one with the LTE. It's got the pen. So it's just like the Surface Pro X. Pen stores and charges in the device. I'm loving it. Now, this is running the Snapdragon 8CX Gen 2, which is a little bit of an improvement, I got to say. It's definitely an improvement. It's also got 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I like it. I think it's got its use cases. I don't think it's going to be for the mainstream, at least not yet, just because you're not going to be able to run the 64-bit apps, or not all of them. Now, there is a beta program, as I mentioned, that I'm testing out. I'll talk more about that in the review that's coming up. But I got to say, out of the box, just working it, if you do a lot of traveling, you want something extremely thin with no fan, it's totally quiet. That is a great keyboard and has that always connected LTE or optionally 5G, then this is your go-to, and it's got some style. So if you're that executive that wants some style, it's got the faux leather cover here, as you can see here. Absolutely loving it. And I noticed that Lou over at Unbox Therapy, I saw that he did a video on this. So I've started to get more views out of result. I think they're getting suggested to my videos on this. So that's been good. Really good stuff. I like it. And you can see the box for the Dell in the background there. But you can see here, and if I could ever get into focus, there we go. It's a little slow on the take today. It's got some versatility. It's got a glossy display. I wish it was a little bit brighter, the display, but you can put it in tablet mode and you can use it as a tablet. The pen works great. So I really have no complaints on this. I have no complaints. So, and that's where I see on that. Now we got a super chat from Delmonico. Super chat of $5. Love the channel. I just bought the NVX360 2021. That's nice. And that's because of my review. Nice. So far, I love it. My schoolwork, it runs Steam games pretty well. So yeah, I love its versatility. I think it's a great laptop. A lot of people are buying them, and for good reason. And they like the new design. Some people, if they want the old design, you can get the updated chipset with the older design that has the numpad. So you have the options there. That's what I love about that. So yeah, for those of you who check it out, the HP NVX 360 2021, check it out. I have a couple of videos on that. But thank you so much, Delmonico, for that super chat. I got 130 of you watching. That's pretty good. Is it worth the wait for the new Lenovo Slim 7 with the new AMD 5800H versus the 47? The price difference is about $150. I like the 5800H. Is that Zen 3? I don't know if that's Zen 3. If it's Zen 2, you're not going to see a huge difference. Somebody correct me. Zen 3 is the 5900. I know that. And the 5600, right? Something like that. I don't remember. But some are still based on Zen 2, right? So if going from Zen 2 to Zen 2, you're not going to see a huge difference. They'll tweak it here and there, but it's not going to be a huge difference. So you may want to look to get the better deal. I appreciate that, Delmonico, and thanks for that support. All right. Let me bring up here for a second. I see we had somebody timed out. Thank you, Handquake, for taking care of that. All right, so we're now at 1 hour and 30 minutes. I think we're not going to go any more. I think that's about what we should keep it at. But I want to thank everybody, especially the moderators, for doing such a great job. Handquake and company, thank you so much once again. I know there's a lot more questions. I'll get to it in the next live stream. 5800H is Zen 3, so thank you, Jeff, for that information. So Zen 3 might be a pretty good increase on that. But we'll talk more about that soon. I want to thank everybody for stopping by. I have a lot of new stuff coming this week, so you want to make sure you subscribe to the channel and stay tuned and make sure you got that notification bell checked off. So until next time, this is Andrew. Until the next live stream and to the next video, I will see you then. I'll see you then. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.